every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Say from him slip up all eyes on him. I defend the people, them said spice on him. Evil politicians spread lies on him. But we know the bugger them not wise like him. Back up, them not ties on him. Them know said that the people rely on him. You know said them bring out them Christ through him. That's why all the people them respect him. Just like Selassie and Marcus Garvey. Rock you all the order of the Trinity. A real strong soldier in a army. No simpleton can disarm we. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. How long them a gonna know say that them fire can't cool? How long them a gonna take our people for fool? Nah build no houses, them nah build no school. Think them have the handle but of the most I rule. Them better stop criticizing. Cause what them a do now phase him. You know the man no lazy. All them a talk, them are the one right crazy. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. We'll fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights, I saw him stay. Say from him slip up all eyes on him. I defend the people, them said spice on him. Evil politicians spread lies on him. But we know the bugger them not wise like him. Back up, them not ties on him. Them know said that the people rely on him. You know said them bring out them Christ through him. That's why all the people them respect him. Just like Selassie and Marcus Garvey. The man hold the order of the Trinity. A real strong soldier in a army.
Good evening, brothers and sisters, students, friends, family. Bless up. Give thanks for the gathering. We're a bit late, but we're not late with information. Never. We're fully loaded around here. So let's just do the honors quickly and just say hello to all of the people who made the choice to be with us tonight. Elaine, big up yourself, Elaine. Bless up. Beverly, thank you, Beverly, for being here. And Mr. Stewart, he's watching the program, so anybody who wants to send something after Kevin, don't worry, put it in the chat because Kevin is watching. Lapscoochie himself, people. If you don't want to know why him get that name there or how him get that name, then I need to call him and talk to him. In fact, a lot of people call me and ask for him number, and them say the people who have him number, them can call. The people who don't have him number, they should stay without his number. I don't know how to take that, but Lapscoochie, big up yourself. Elaine said, comments or views are that of our guests or classmates. It is not necessarily that of the platform host. Thank you very much, Elaine. Yeah. ACLB, greetings. Bless up, my people. Sushana, Young, big up yourself. Nofat, Patel, OT, big up yourself, Patel, big up yourself. Yuan Hilton, big up yourself. Bless up. Merlin Fid, good evening. Mega. We missed you last week, Mega, on the Saturday night program. We miss you. Well, anytime you show up, we miss you. Big up yourself, Mega. Petra, blessings. Paulette MacArthur, good night. Merle, my girl. Didn't the PM promise to turn Trelawney and Black River into Silicon Valley? Oh, what a tangled web. You pay attention. You are paying attention, Merlin. Big up yourself. Vivs, pretty face, big up yourself, big up yourself, big up yourself. On Team Kangle, good night, good night, good night on Team Kangle. Petra, enough love, man. Yes, yes, Petra. Keep it going, keep it going. Jackie Graham, straight out of Baltimore. Hey, you're the right, I saw, Jackie. You have to link me, Jackie. You're the right now. You're the right now, the same place. You have to link me. One and ready. Bless up. Big up yourself. Philly. Bless up. Thanks for being here. Kinsley, Anglin, good evening. Good evening. Thank you. Much appreciated. What is Karine Aransevia? Karine, I hope I pronounce the name. I hope I'm not butchering the name. Karine Aransevia. All right. Just tell me if I butcher it and tell me how to pronounce it. Artnell, big up yourself. Up. Way up there. Diane Folks, greetings. Yes. We have enough things to talk about. 101, real deal. Greetings, and welcome. Rudolph English. Yes. Blessings. Thank you for being here. Bless up yourself, Rudolph. That's it, OT. Rita Lynn. Hey, Ratty, big up yourself, Rita. Big up yourself. Obscure 16, one Ratty on the app. Bless up. Yeah, man. So we do the thing. Reggae Medic, Massachusetts, lock. You see that? We, plural, are watching and listening. Thank you very much, Reggae Medic. Online Genie, good evening. That's it. Okay. All right, folks, listen. It's been hectic, very, very hectic for me. Lots of things going on. I was going to use a phrase to describe how I feel, but a word that a phrase that my father used to use, but I won't use it. This is a family-friendly program, so I won't do that. I'll respect everyone here, so I won't say what my father would have said. But it's been very hectic. I've been up and down, in and out of court, drafting all kinds of documents. It's just crazy. And, I had a conversation. I've had several conversations with people who they ask me metaphorically and they ask me directly. Them ask me as if them just ask, them not ask, so I provide an answer. And then some people ask as if them, ask looking for an answer. And them say, why you do what you do? Why do you do what you do? And they're talking about this. They're not talking about my profession. They're talking about this. And I said to them, listen, I don't even have to explain it because I know why I do what I do. I know. But in one word, people. That's why I do it. And we can't even go further and say, my people. My people meaning all of the Jamaicans, but we have a lot of people who support what we're doing. They're not Jamaican by blood. In fact, you know what? They should be Jamaicans. Because, wait, hold on a second. You remember this?
Not your birth that makes you Jamaican. It is the choices you make for your country.
Right. So it's not birth that makes you Jamaican. It's the choice you make for your country. And that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird because if you're born in Jamaica, but you don't make choices for Jamaica, hear what him say? It's the choices you make for your country. So it's like an oxymoron. It's like, yes, it's your country, but you're not part of that country because of the choices you make for that country. Merle, you're completely correct. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when at first we try to deceive. You're right, because the Prime Minister, despite the education that he said he's received, many times he doesn't speak as one who's educated. He doesn't. And the thing about it, when I say that, when I listen to him, he doesn't sound foolish, But you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. When you pay attention, you'll find out that he says one thing here and he says something else there, and then he says something that contradicts this and that, and then you realize that, you know, education is not a part of this calculus. It's not a part of, you know, the formula. It's not. It's about just talking and just telling people a whole bunch of untruths, things when I go so. So, getting back to why I do it because I feel compelled to do it for my people. And it would be a shame to be around all of this information and then just keep it to myself. What good would that do for Jamaica and Jamaicans? It wouldn't do any good. So you have to share it. And when you share it, you will find people who will take offense to it. So that's part of the calculation too, that you're going to have that. Nobody's going to say things that everybody will agree with 100% of the time. And that's just human nature. I've accepted that. So, you know, we'll just keep moving on. Now, we always say that Jamaica is the gift that keeps on giving, and Jamaica is content rich, and it is so true. Because think about all of the issues that exist in Jamaica. And right now, Cooper's pen is on the tip of everyone's tongue. It's uppermost in everyone's mind. But there's so many issues. So many, you know, drill, bus, market, we have beach, well, all kinds of issues. And we must not, my people, we must not be distracted by the issue of the day. When I say distracted, here's what I mean. The issue of the day, we must attend to the issue of the day, but we shouldn't do it at the expense of the other issues. We shouldn't forget the other issues, because that is what the government is banking on. That something comes up and you'll forget about Wheatley. Something comes up and you'll forget about Minister Vaz. Something comes up and you'll forget about this, you'll forget about that. When was the last time you hear a conversation about Minister Wheatley? When? When was the last time you hear a conversation about the rural school bus program? When was the last time you hear a conversation about the drill? When was the last time you hear a conversation about all of the findings put out by the Auditor General? A long time. It's almost like it's in ancient history. Because this is their plan, that give the people something to talk about and they will forget about the other issues that they should be talking about. But it's not only talking about it, because, you know, we talk about it. They're afraid that people will be galvanized and people will start taking action, legal action. They're afraid of that. So they have these issues, they pop up, and then we tend to just forget about them. But I can guarantee you this, that around here, we don't forget about issues. Sometimes when you don't hear us talking about issues, we're working on coming up with new information, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to get on and say the same thing that everybody is saying, because then it's like we're wasting your time, we're wasting our time. If we can't find something to add to the discussion, then it's best for us to just sit back and just listen and learn. And we do. We do. We learn from many people, bloggers included. We learn. But we try our best to put on a program that at the end of it, you're going to walk away learning something new. You're going to learn something that you didn't hear before, or you heard it before, but it wasn't explained properly. So that's what we try to add to the discussion, because believe me, these issues must be discussed. but they must be discussed in a fulsome way. So sometimes, you will see an issue out there and you will say, people say, then how come Reese McRatigan and come Reese McRatigan, we don't hear, we don't hear it on those programs. We don't hear about these issues. And that's because I've come to understand and accept as true that headlines don't tell the full story. And in some instances, it's a false narrative, So we kind of, especially if it's something that we don't have direct knowledge, we don't have somebody providing us with credible information. We just sit back and just watch things unfold. And as I said to you, if we don't have anything to add, we're not going to come on and just talk about stuff just for the sake of talking about it. Now, this Cooper Spend issue, everyone's talking about it. And we've been sitting back and we've been doing our homework. And believe me, people, on one level, it's a very simple issue. On one level. But on another level, it's a very complex issue. And it takes on not just Cooper's Pen, but Clifton and the other places. They have political overtones. They have social overtones. They have economic overtones. They have national security overtones, and etc. And so you have to be able to cut through all of that to get to the truth. No spin, no deflection, no coloring, just the raw, unadulterated truth. You have to cut through. You have to cut through to get to it. And that's our specialty around here. We try and cut through a lot of the talk, a lot of the chatter, to try and figure out what's going on and then bring it to you. And so sometimes you'll find that we're not at the forefront of the issue. We're somewhere in the back. But we come, and when we come with it, and we can present it to you in a way that you go, I didn't know that. And that's our satisfaction. That's our goal. For you to say, wow, I didn't look at it that way. Now, as I said, the Cooper Spend issue is a very, very simple yet complicated issue. And one of the things that we are looking at is this. We're listening to the history. And by the way, the history about this place goes way beyond the 1970s, goes beyond the 1960s. Way beyond that. And it brings me to a point that Dr. Hamilton, Rosalia Hamilton, she has made this point on numerous occasions. In fact, it's one of her main talking points. And it's this, that the system we have in place is what's holding us back as a nation. Because the system we have, we inherited it. We didn't create it. It was given to us. And you have to work within that system. And when you work within that system, it doesn't really matter, to some degree, it doesn't matter who the person is, because the system itself is corrupted. So you can just imagine, if the system is corrupted and then you have corrupt people within the system, it makes it doubly worse. And who suffers? Morning, noon, and night. Seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks. Who suffers? Poor people. poor people. Because the system lends itself to so much greed. It lends itself to so much corruption. It lends itself to so much dehumanizing of our population that even when we take evil action, or action people considered evil against our own, the people inflicting it, they don't see it. Or they see it, but they have a very, very cold heart. There's no warmth there. It's all about me, me, me. Crab in a barrel mentality. Crab in a barrel mentality. Now, yesterday, I had a conversation with two attorneys. Had nothing to do with any of this. It had to do with a legal matter, a client, and one of the attorneys is noted attorney Bert Samuels, who is a brethren of mine. We went to school together. I know him, I know his family. And we were discussing some legal issues, nothing to do with this. But then in the end, we started talking about just things going on in Jamaica. And I asked him about Clifton and Cooper's Pen. But I was mostly focused on Cooper's Pen. And he said, listen, it's hard to render an opinion as a lawyer. As a lawyer, you deal with facts and the law, not innuendos, not hearsay. You deal with proof. And he was saying that he wasn't following this thing as much as everyone else. And so he could render an opinion because just the little that he heard and paid attention to, there's just so many issues. So he said, listen, I can't render an opinion on it. And he said, as a lawyer, I am fearful about rendering an opinion on something that I don't know what the facts are, because you hear all kinds of things. And he said, I cannot independently claim that these are facts. I cannot. I don't have independent facts. I'm just listening to what's going on. So he said, listen, we could talk tomorrow and I will have some answers for you. We can talk. And we spoke today. And I think he's sufficiently knowledgeable about the subject matter that instead of having a discussion today, he said, listen, I'm at your service, my brother. I will be on your program this Saturday to discuss aspects of this issue, because Cooper's Pen, trust me, people, it's going to take several shows to do. If you're going to do it right. If you're going to do it right, it's going to take several appearances. So Bert Samuels will be here God willing, he will be here this Saturday to discuss the legal issues arising out of the Cooper's Pen incident. He will be here. He's our special guest on Saturday. It won't be for long, but he will be here. So tune in this Saturday to get a perspective. Notice I'd say a, not the perspective, because it's just one man's perspective on what took place, what is taking place, and what should take place. So much to unpack. But here's where I start. Oh, wait, sis there. Hold on there. Sister Maria, sorry, my apologies. You know, when I close my eyes, I'm gone off in a different realm. So, welcome.
Thank you, Ratigan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How are you?
I'm on top of the world. Moving and grooving, shucking and jiving, bipping and bopping, caring and sharing, with a dip in my hip and a glide in my stride.
I'm happy for you. God bless you. Somebody has to have a smile on their face because I was listening to your opening and the zone is so flooded that I was overwhelmed just listening to you talk about the amount of issues, open issues, unresolved issues that are happening in Jamaica. And you said, they're doing it. It is deliberate because they know these things are happening and they don't give a damn. So they just keep flooding the zone. So you're distracted from the thing that happened last and the thing that happened the next delay before that. And one of the most outstanding issues for the past 5 years is that Andrew Wallace's statutory declarations have yet to be certified. And there's no pressure on that. But the conclusion I came to is, and I asked the question, where are the investigations? Because the parliament as a body can launch investigations into the various things that are happening. They can, Yeah.
Sis, I am going to send you some things when we finish the program.
Yeah.
I won't talk about them, but I'm going to share them with you. Because and that point you just touched on, it's an excellent point. It's a point that nobody's looking at. Where you said, "Hey, what about Parliament? What are they doing about all of these things that come up?" I'm going to share something with you when we finish.
Okay, cool.
When you see it, but
yeah, it is frightening, Ratigan, because in a healthy democracy, because all democracies have issues, are flawed, but in a healthy one, I mean, Andrew couldn't be there as Prime Minister still. Wheatley couldn't be there. Tufton couldn't be there because as a Minister of Health, he's only obsessed with people's personal life. This week he was out talking about masturbation. The Minister of Health. While the hospitals have no bed, they have beds, they have no equipment, no MRI machines, no CT scans. People are sleeping on the floor. People are dying on the floor. Nurses and doctors are in front of sewage water. And this man is talking about masturbation. And I'm saying what they're doing is they're appealing to the lowest denominator because they know the people's conversation is not up here, it's down there. So that's where they're meeting them. And the persons that he was talking to, they'll say, well, hold up a second. I don't want to hear that. If that's what you do in your bedroom, nobody cares. Right. What about the hospitals? You know what I'm saying? So I'm listening to your opening and I'm like, every platform you go on, you're bombarded with this is happening, that is happening, and if you don't really discipline yourself to shut it down after a while, you become consumed and it can eat you alive because it's a lot that is going on.
True.
And you feel it because human beings are affected. And but for the grace of God, had our circumstances not been different, it could be you or I. It's as simple as that.
I completely agree. There is so much going on, and they throw you something over here and you run over here, and the shiny object syndrome. But Saturday we're gonna have Bert Samuels on, and we're gonna look into this Cooper Spend thing. We're gonna try and look at it from a different angle. But here's where I start. And I have a dear friend of mine. She's watching. And we have conversations daily. Not just this lady, but also I have conversations with my team as well. Producer Joan, producer OT, and even Professor Kevin, big up on himself. And here's where I start with this. A lot of people looking at it from a historical perspective, some looking at it from a political perspective, some looking at it from a social, human rights perspective. Here's where I start with it. I start, and maybe it's just my training, I start with, okay, who is responsible? That's where I start. I know people, you know, you have the history and you have this and you have that, but I start, okay, an incident occurred. Who is responsible? You start from that angle and you work your way backwards. And once you start doing that, it's going to unravel everything. But a lot of people are doing it from the historical perspective and they're saying, well, in 1960 something, okay, that's fine. But we need to know that, but we need to know that later. What we need to know right now, because we have people who are homeless. We need to find out right now who is responsible. Somebody's responsible. And when you have a government presence at an event like this, it's hard to say the government didn't know. If you have a police presence out there, based on what I was told by a very, very astute, distinguished attorney, and another one in Jamaica, who said to me, under the appropriate, the JCF and other acts, other laws, the JCF, they're not commissioned to take part in eviction events except to preserve the peace. They can't act like bailiffs. They can't go in and they can't move people, things out. And the moment they start doing that, there's a lawsuit and there is administrative action with INDICOM. So that's something to take notice of. But I just want to know who is responsible. Now, let me just show you one piece of thing. And I'm not saying this person is responsible, but I want you to listen to this. Tell me what you think.
Actions have been given to the security forces to have a strong presence in the area to treat with any threats. This illegal capturing and building on public or private land will not be tolerated. The government of Jamaica, therefore, will make a stand. The government of Jamaica, therefore, will make a stand. And I repeat, Madam Speaker, the government of Jamaica. This is not going to be left to a government agency. No. This is something that the central government of Jamaica must stand up and ensure it does not continue. Absolutely. So, Madam Speaker, directions have been given to the security forces to have a strong presence in the area to treat with any threats from any criminal that may want to interrupt or exercise control or present any obstacle to the government rectifying that situation. So the JDF has deployed a forward operating base meters away from this area, and they are doing regular patrols, and they have created a security blanket, including regular surveillance, drone surveillance, and other forms of surveillance to see whether or not there will be any movement by criminals in those areas.
They don't have a clue. Animal farm this. When a performative government. Land is for the people. wake the town and tell the people of Sri Lanka, St. Thomas to, you see this bulldozing thing are the last days of it. Because now wicked. You think we don't know what going about, we will not be distracted. Prime Minister have to keep cabinet meeting and know say she have to give them back in the house. And we not ease up off of them neck. Because government are creatures of the Constitution.
All right. Just a couple of things. He mentions threat. He mentions private, squatting on public and private lands. And he says this illegal capturing of land. And he mentioned that the central government is going to take decisive action. Now, let me ask you something. Let me just throw this out. I was thinking about this issue today. Does the law, listen to me carefully now, does the law support squatting? Because you hear them say, everybody say, oh, it's illegal and blah, 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 blah. Listen to me carefully, sis. Does the law support squatting and the capturing of land? And you know what my answer is? Yes.
You want that answer?
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. OT.
Adverse possession.
Adverse
But
possession.
stick up in there, Atigan. Stick up in there. It is adverse possession when the wealthy, well-to-do, and well-connected do it, But it's squatting when poor people do it. Do you realize that is what is happening? Because it's not only something that marginalized people are doing. It is being done across the board in Jamaica. Even by people sitting in that parliament with that prime minister. They're adversely possessing lands, even from persons who the lands have been in that family for generations. But as long as it is prime real estate, it becomes something that they adversely possess and use their power and proximity to power to take these lands from under the people. So it is adverse possession. In law, it is adverse possession. However, in the Jamaican perspective, it is adverse possession when certain people do it, but squatting when other people do it. Continue, my brother.
I'm of the opinion that it supports it because
Yes.
people explain adverse possession to you. Adverse possession is when you go on a piece of land that is not yours,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you shop there, and you do it openly, intentionally, notoriously, not in secret. Everybody know that you're using this land, including the owner, right?
Mhm.
Everybody knows that you're there. And if you do it for 12 years, if it's private property, then you have the right to claim that land as under adverse possession, even if the owner was paying the taxes. Even if the owner was paying the taxes, if the owner paid the taxes and you there and everybody see you there, you have the right to claim that land. Now, here's how you claim the land, and here's one of the problems that we're having. And by the way, if you want to claim government land, it's 60 years.
Mhm.
Adversely possess it 60 years. Now, here's the thing. If you've been on a piece of property, private property, for 12 years or more, and in fact, it doesn't even matter if the owner knows, because the principle behind it is that if you have property, you're supposed to tend to your property. If you get a busherman or you get somebody go and bush out the place and make people know, say it's yours, and if you see people come on it, you take the appropriate action to remove them. You don't make them stay for 12 years, because once they stay 12, once they can prove that they've been there for 12 years, they go to the land agency and then fill out a form. They apply for adverse possession. And the only time now it gets to court is if you, the owner, say, wait a minute, no, it's my land. Then you have to bring that action in court, and their defense is going to be, we have occupied this land for 12 years or more, openly, notoriously, continuously, intentionally. Everybody know we're upon the land. And that is how you get it. So if you occupy the land for 12 years or more and you don't file You don't file to get ownership based on adverse possession. That is a problem. Now, the question I'm trying to find out is, can you do it retroactively? So if you dip on the land for 20 years and you never file for adverse possession, and the owner now comes and says, I want to get you off, and then the owner files in court to get you off, can you then go to the land agency and file for adverse possession to claim a superior title over the title from the landowner? So you see, people, when they say who owns the land, you have a legal owner, right? And then you have an owner. So the question is, and in some instances, that owner has rights, will have rights enforced that are superior to the rights of the legal owner. You can have title and still lose the land because you allow somebody to stay upon it for 12 years or long or more, and then you come now and then they go file it. So I need to go file. But the point I'm making is this: when people tell you, say, well, squatters don't have no rights and this and it's illegal, blah, 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 the law supports it. The law says, listen, if you squat on somebody's land for 12 years, you can go and file to take possession of that land, even though the person have title and the person is paying the land tax. So we need to make our people know this, because a lot of people believe that if you've been on it for 12 years, then it's yours. No, that's just that's just one step. You have to go and file the people. So
Rafigan, 1 second. And can you please explain to those in the back who don't know, because they're behaving like adverse possession is unique to the Jamaican space. It is not a unique situation in Jamaica.
No.
It happens across the board. It happens in the United States. It happens in England. It happens across the board. So please explain to them, because when they say it and they're making a mockery of persons who are in this situation, it is happening. And the 60 years for government land in Jamaica is a little extreme, because in England it is 10 years, you know.
Yeah, it's extreme.
And England it's extreme. So they should amend that law, because so clearly that law has been on the books for over 100 years. So that should have been amended a long time ago by previous administrations to cut it down from 60 years.
And keep in mind, people, that Jabim, the beach right movement people, that they are in court trying to save the beach space for our people. And they're looking at something called the Prescription Act from the 1800s. And what does it say? It's similar to adverse possession. It says if you you've been using this land for bathing, for fishing, for all that stuff, then you have a right to it. So this idea that it is unique it's not unique. It's not. So you can find adverse possession as well in the Prescription Act of the 1800s. It's there. So the idea that it's simple, that it's simply that somebody own a property and now them come and them want to get you off. That is a problem. Here's another problem. Problem is that in New York they call it self-help. No self-help. You can't, if you have a tenant and you want to get rid of that tenant not paying rent, right? And you want to get rid of the tenant, you can't just walk in and just kick off the door and take the people and stuff and put outside. In fact, I think it's treble damages. No, because there's a process. So even if you stay upon the land and them say you're squatters or whatever, and the owner show up, the owner can't come and mash up your place. There's a process. They have to go to court and get an order for you to leave, and then you don't leave. Then they have to go back to court and get an order for eviction, and then they have to bring in the bailiff and all of that. So the idea, and they can't do it at night. They can't do it at night. And we have been told that this thing at Cooper's Bend took place in the wee hours of the morning. So there is a lot to unpack regarding this issue. But I start with who's responsible. And we just heard the Prime Minister say that we are coming strong at these at the illegal capture of private and public lands, and the central government is going to put a stop to this and all of that. And then we hear him now. We heard him say that he didn't know about this. Think about that, people. Think about that. That sink in for a second. The Prime Minister of the country who made a speech about squatters and the lack of rights for squatters, and that the government, central government, is going to do this and do that. And remember what they did to the people over in Clifton. And now you have a presence. And by the way, a huge government presence. It wasn't one or two policemen out there. I heard that it was like a battalion out there. There's a lot of police.
Yeah. Area 1.
Yeah. And you go tell me now that the Prime Minister going to say, he didn't know about this? He didn't know about this? I think well, let me see this.
The incident is quite concerning, and many of the images that we have seen are disturbing. My heart goes out to the families who have been dislocated. I see a particular image of a newborn and the mother being displaced. These are the tragedies, and it is one thing that history does, is to repeat itself.
Right.
And I am committed to ensure that our history is not repeated. Which is why I am unequivocal and very clear in not endorsing squatting and the illegal occupation of land.
Then hold on. I'll have to say to him, if this is your belief, then repeal the law that says you can adversely possess a piece of land that originally wasn't yours and you didn't pay for it. Repeal it. Because as long as you have it there, as long as you have that law there, the law is saying we recognize the rights of people who have occupied land that they don't have a title to, but they have been on this piece of land for 12 years or longer, and people know about it. It's in your...
But Ratigan, it wouldn't be that easy to repeal either, because jurisdictions across the world have this kind of protection, adverse possession protection. So he is not, he's talking that, and you're right to say, since he has a problem with it, repealing. But it's not even about repealing, but modifying it to suit the situation. Because repealing it, would be extreme.
Well,
so why hasn't he changed the law?
Well, I make the argument about repealing it because he's saying that it is illegal.
I understand.
So I'm like, okay, fine, do away with it. You're right. It's going to be difficult to do away with it. But people, don't let them tell you about this illegal squat. Squatting is legal if you go past 12 years and you file for get the property. It's legal. Don't make them tell you no foolishness, and the law supports it. Because the law is saying to you as a landowner, you have a right and you must pay attention to your land. And if you don't pay attention to your land, you are going to lose it to people who come on that land and can prove that they've been on it for 12 years or longer. And they file the appropriate paperwork. You're going to lose it. So it's incumbent upon you to protect what you have. And if you don't want to do that, then somebody else will take care of it. That is the law. That is the law.
That is the law. But Ratigan, just backing up to something you just said, you have to acre land that one has not seen for 12 years. Okay, there can be extenuating circumstances. So maybe a person died, but other family members can come and see to it that certain things are done. Like you said, you bush the place, there's some upkeep. And I'm saying now, if a person has a piece of land that they have not used in 12 years, then give it up no more, because there are people who need land. And the thing is, they say Jamaica has a lot of land, but not all areas of the land in Jamaica is livable and arable. You understand me? Right. And most persons do agriculture. So you have to also factor that in. So if you have a persons have 300, 400, 1,000 acres of land for decades, why not make it available to the persons who need it? Because there are persons who just give them an acre of land. Because when one person has 1,000 acres of land, Ratigan, you have thousands more who don't even have 1 acre. You see what I'm saying? And they will have these lands sitting there, sitting there, sitting there. And as a matter of fact, some of these persons who are in the know, take it away from people who are utilizing them, but because of location, they say location, location, location. Because of that, they themselves adversely possess the land. And so they buy it for this and they buy it for that. You know, so it is not a cut and dry issue as they would want it to be. It is more involved than that. And like you said, to fully understand the issue, you have to start from start here and go all the way back.
Right. And you know what's interesting? It's an interesting dilemma we face, in the sense that the Prime Minister is saying, we don't support squatters, we don't support the illegal occupation of land, blah, blah, blah. Yet you have the developers, the resort owners who are building out in the sea. And them not own that. They don't own that. That's Crown land, and he's allowing them to do this. I think they have 3 resorts right now already. They have built out into the sea and they're destroying the ecosystem. Oh, that's another issue. That's another issue. And you don't hear anything about that. It's not their land. It's not their land.
Yeah, on the sea. I mean, seriously, they cannot, it's for the people to enjoy.
By the Crown. The sea is owned by the Crown.
Yeah.
But
in your research, Rattigan, I have to ask you this. In your research, and I think this question is best suited for Dr. Taylor, but I'm going to ask you, have you come across any other country, specifically in the Caribbean, that has allowed investors to come, especially hoteliers, and build out into the sea and take the beach away from the people?
No.
So this is just this particular issue is unique to Jamaica.
I was about to use that word, unique, because we've been talking about unique. So yeah, that's uniquely Jamaican. Yeah.
Okay.
You let your people have what, less than 2% or 3% of beach property, of the use of the beach, or less than 2%, 3% of the beaches them can use, and you have other people come in and own the rest of it. That's nonsense. That's folly. That shouldn't happen. But that is what is happening. Let me play a little bit more with this gentleman here.
I intend to.
I use the word loosely.
To address the specific matter when I have the full details of the matter. The matter is quite complex and it involves court rulings for which I need to be properly advised on those court rulings before I speak. Right. I do intend to, however, address the matter. As soon as the matter occurred and it was brought to my attention, I had no prior knowledge of it. None of our ministers, certainly not the member of parliament. I got a call very early in the morning, quite surprised. And immediately we mobilized resources from ODPEM and the Ministry of Labour and Social Security to assist, because technically it...
You hear him say a while ago? He said, I know nothing about this. Prime Minister is very forgetful when it comes to the really serious and significant issues that he should take responsibility for. He doesn't know anything. And what he doesn't realize is that as a leader, you are required to know everything. That's why you have people. That's why you have designated people to deal with all of these things so that they can brief you. This is days after this happened. He's saying that I don't know anything about it. And the question is, we supposed to just accept it and say, well, him don't know about it, so you can't hold him responsible. It's foolishness, complete foolishness.
Rattigan.
Yeah.
You have a background in law enforcement. An entire law enforcement branch, Area 1, and it comprises about 4 different parishes, all right? And they say the Jamaica Defense Force was involved, of which the Prime Minister is that minister. Now, using his arguments that he did not know, is he then not allowing himself to be a sitting duck open for a coup? Because if an entire law enforcement team can mobilize in such a way and conduct such a and be part of a demolition, and he really sits there as a Minister of Defense, the Minister of National Security doesn't know, the Commissioner of Police has not said anything, Isn't he then in danger? You're in danger, my brother. You're in
Yeah.
danger. He's in danger.
Yeah. Somebody just a dear friend of ours just texted me and said, ask if what if you lease somebody a land for 12 years or longer? That is not open continuous, whatever. That wouldn't fall under the protection of adverse possession, because you have a contract for the person to land. The adverse possession is where you have no contract with this person. You have no lease, no sale, nothing. Them just move on onto the land, and then that's it. No, people, I want to share something with you. That's why I'm telling you that the idea that squatting is illegal and it's this and that, if that is the case, then why have the law that says that, after 12 years, the land is yours if you can prove that you've occupied it openly, notoriously, and you've been, the rest of the requirements, and you file with the land agency? Why have it? No, here is something I want to tell you. Here's something I want to tell you now. I want to share with you. The law that deals with adverse possessions and all of these things, it's called the Limitation of Actions Act. The Limitations of Actions Act. And it has been in operation in Jamaica since July 1st. Since July 1st, 1881. 1881. And part 2, section 38 provides the 60-year limitation period relating to crown lands. Now, the 12-year rule for privately owned land is also an old Jamaican law coming from the Limitation of Actions Act of 1881. And the act has been operational since July 1st, not 1981, 1881. And this is law that's on the books. It's still on the books. So when them tell you people that it's squatting illegal and this and that, here's when squatting illegal. Here's when somebody move on the property, and then you, before it gets to 12 years, you go and you say, I don't need you here. I'm going to take legal action to get rid of you. It's illegal then. But you see, once them get to 12 years, it's no illegal. So how you get to 12 years? You know the old joke there, Mario? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? And the answer is practice, practice, practice. So how do you get to 12 years? 1 year at a time.
Squatting.
1
year at a time.
Yes.
It's so funny.
But it's true. It's true. I mean,
But Ratigan, I'm listening to you, see, and sorry to interrupt, but it's because you're talking, and then we're 1881. So the 60 years, is really steeped in the colonial era laws. And it had to do with the vestiges of slavery. Am I correct?
You're correct.
Because then the land was owned by the colonial master.
To respond.
Hold on. Let me stop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The land was owned by the colonial masters, and so the slaves were entitled to nothing. So in order for them to make any claims to that land, the formerly enslaved persons would have to be on that crown land for 60 years. I'm trying to get the legal explanation for that.
Okay. But let me just address something here. Lime says, I disagree with you, Ratty. Stop supporting thieving. All right, Lime, let me ask you a question now, Lime. The law says you have a piece of property in Jamaica, and let's say you live overseas, and you pay no attention to it. And somebody, they're on that property, and they're on the property for 15 years. And then they go to the land agency, and they fill out the form. And now, remember now, you have title, you have legal title to the land, and you've been paying the land tax, but you haven't removed these people. You know what it's like? It's like you watch somebody steal from you and you do nothing. And then when them thief the things are gone, then you say, oh, them thief my things. You watch them thief it. You watch them steal it. And the law, and guess what? The law protects them. after they've stolen your land. After 12 years, there's nothing you can do if they have occupied the land. OT, put up back the thing there for me, please. Let me make Lime read this. Put it up back, please. Oh, OT there? OT gone. But I just want to show Lime something because it sounds harsh when you say, yeah, you're supporting them to steal it. No, what I'm supporting is that you are vigilant about your property. You're vigilant about your property. You can't have people come on your property. Here it is right there. Lime, I want to read this for you because I don't know if you can see it. It says, in Jamaica, adverse possession, especially in rural areas, is relatively common. Lime, you must tell me, that's not true that. It says squatters may acquire valid title. Hear that? Valid title to the land if they continuously control the property for 12 years without force, without secrecy, without permission. Meaning you don't do nothing at all. However, evidence of non-occupancy, like payment of a lease, we just talked about that a while ago, or the receipt of notice to quit, can disrupt the time frame. Permission or use of force or intimidation by the person will also affect their claim. So they said, employing a professional surveyor for regular inspections to identify structures and occupancy is paramount, meaning it's very important. A third-party report may serve as solid evidence against adverse possession claims. Moreover, regular surveying or contracting property management sends a clear message that the property is actively maintained, often acting as a deterrent to potential squatters. This approach not only provides peace of mind, but also reduces liabilities for landowners. So, Lime, you see what that says? It says, if you get somebody who just go on, you don't have to be the person doing the maintenance. You can get somebody go on once a year and just bush the place out. And you know what that says? That says that them can't take that property from you because you're exerting ownership, control over it. So you can get rid of them. But if you take no action and you watch people, or you just not care about it, and like Sister Maria said, think about it. If you have property and you not paying no attention to it for 12 years, 12 years, that's a long time to have a piece of property and just doing peer. Oh, and here's what happened. Think about it. You have a piece of property, you're paying land tax. You're paying land tax, but you don't check on the piece of property. What how you gonna blame people now and the law protects them? So I'm not saying that people should steal land. In fact, I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying that if you have land, make sure that you exert control over it, because if you don't, there's a possibility you're going to lose it. And you can't blame people. You can't blame them because the law is there to protect you and to protect them. The law gives you 12 years. So it's not that I'm telling people to go thief land. I'm saying if they're on your land, you have a right to take possession, to rid them of possession. And there's a legal process to do it.
2 words, Rafigan. Context matters.
And you say Jets, what's this? Jets Nitram said the best way to prevent adverse possession in Jamaica is use it to get a mortgage. That might very well be true. Because guess what? Yeah, because you show ownership over it, and you show that you know the value of it, that you go and you take out a mortgage against it. These are the things that you have to do. These are the things that you have to do. So, but getting back to the beginning of the beginning, I would start. I would start by saying, who's responsible? And then you start from there. Because if you find out says the Prime Minister responsible, or if you find out says Dr. Chang responsible, or the cabinet or something, then you go from there. And remember now, the policemen who actually assisted with this eviction, they're in deep trouble. They're in deep trouble. The question is, though, who is going to protect these people? Who?
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Question. The police that were involved, the first thing they did was detain the men, young men. All right?
Correct.
Now, where is the accountability? Because I heard that those young men were fingerprinted and photographed and all their biometrics taken. Where is the accountability now? And what recourse do those young men have? Because they were detained for no reason. What was the purpose for their detainment? So how now can those men, and now how can the government claim a lack of responsibility when the police, which is an entity of the government, detained these men? How can they, what is the recourse for them?
Well, they have relief in law because you have unlawful detention. Some people say you have kidnapping. You have all kinds of things wrong with the idea that you're just going. And we know why they did it. They did it because no resistance, and it's just the women, elderly, and children. So that's why they moved them. So they have a cause of action in court. They really do. And Lime said the burden is with the landowner, but I see and hear you, but the law is not right. And that's what we're talking about, Lime. I don't know if you heard the conversation I was having with Sister Maria about the law and whether it can be repealed or it can be refined or whatever it is. But the idea, like Sister Maria was saying, you can't repeal a law like that, right? Because that's it. I don't know how they're going to do it. But also keep in mind that from 1881, them not repeal it.
Over 100 years.
And people still are squat, people still are take where people land. And from 1881, them have this law. And I'll know them not repeal it. They do nothing for change it. Nothing. Is that the law remains the same from 1881. Occupy the land for 12 years and it's yours. Just go file the paperwork and it's yours. Let me listen to this gentleman. I'm almost finished with him.
Humanitarian crisis that has been created. There is a longer term response that is necessary. So whatever the government does, it has to address the issue of informality, and we can't be too mouth about it. We have to speak straight about it. Squatting is wrong. Informal settlement is not encouraged. But yes, every single Jamaican should have equal opportunity to get access to land and housing. We will have to find ways to support those families who are impacted. But whatever our response is, we have to be careful that we don't set a precedence that is not sustainable. Because whatever we do now, everybody's going to expect that it is done going forward. So, which is why we are being very careful in preparing a response that is sustainable. And it will be corrected. In the same way we have developed this program, which every week I'm delivering a house to someone who is in need.
All right. That me want to get to. That me want to get to. People, if you don't believe me, just go back and look at the JLP's manifesto for 2016. Look on the section on housing. Go and look at it for 2020. Look at the section housing. And then go and look at it for 2025 and look at the section for housing. And what you will see there is that they promised the Jamaican people to build thousands and thousands and thousands of houses. No. He's giving away one a week. Well, no, sorry. When say one a month. He's giving away one a month.
One a week. He said one a week.
Hold on, let me go back there. Let me hear him saying.
Every week I'm delivering a house to someone.
All right. So that's 52 homes. Now, at one point, I believe him saying, I'll build 70,000 homes. At 52 a year, how long it will take him to build the 70 and give away the 70? How long? Somebody said to me, how long is the name of a Chinaman? But
but in one term, in one political term. You know how many houses Andrew would have given out? 260. When you have 600,000 so 600,000 Jamaicans in need of a home. You see, the man is mad.
Sis, no start me up. Keep talking, because I'm looking for something here.
No, and you know, you listen to him talk, and he's not coming with any clear plans for how he's going to do it. When he said he doesn't want to create a precedent, there it is 600,000, over 600,000 Jamaicans that are considered are living on in informal informal settings. So that has to be addressed. There's no skirting that, and there's nothing pretentious about it, and there's nothing setting precedents there. Governments prior to him have used an approach to cut up lands that people have lived on and given it to them, because the thing is, you know, Jamaicans are more than willing to pay for land, pay their taxes and all of that, you know, and live decently in Aratica. They're more than willing to do that, but you need to have a government who respects the people enough to meet them where they are and help them through difficult situations. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Now I'm saying, just keep talking for me, because I found something. I just want to share this with the people. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I just want to share something with them. And it has to do with housing, because this gentleman here, our prime minister, is something else.
You see, he thinks that he's talking to his confederacy of dunces. So whenever he opens his mouth, you know, that's the audience that he's catering to.
Him say fully dunce? That him say?
Fully dunce, back of the class.
Oh my goodness. All right. Look at this, people. Look at this. Look at this. Let me move this. Again, on the know, so we not just talk things round us up and not show you. I want to show you this. All right, you see this? See that land and housing? What page are they for now? 18. You know, me always want to show you where we get this document, where we get the documents from, because we don't want anybody to go back and say, never show the thing. And all right, there it is right there. See that? Stronger future. See him there? This is the manifesto 2020, right? So when we go 2025, we go back a little bit. Now, let me go to page 18. Wasn't planning on doing this, but me get wrapped up in the conversation with him or about him. All right, 18. Is this 18? Yeah. No, I'm gonna pass it. Hold on there. All right, there it is. Look at this. In a 2020, you know, so the man say, in a stronger Jamaica, more Jamaicans must, underline it, I'm going to go to Kevin Green. See there? More Jamaicans must have access to land, housing, and shelter. Look at what he said. We will achieve 70,000 affordable homes. Now, if you give a one a week, 52 a year, when you get to 70,000? No. He might live like Methuselah. He might live like Methuselah for give us 70,000.
He would never die.
When am I gonna get 70,000?
Man, it's crazy.
And people, this is just the 2020 manifesto, because guess what? You'll find similar wording in the 2016 and the 2025. You'll find it that they say they're building all of these homes and all of that stuff, giving away all of this. People, and then here's the thing. He said 30% of the homes built will be reserved for policemen and police women, nurses, teachers, and civil servants. All of you nurses, civil servants, and police, and who not get none of the 30%. And I can't make one know. Look at that.
I'm going to live on Cooper's Pantry, you know.
Some live a Coop. Yeah, you're right. There's a police woman who lives in a Cooper's
One
Pen.
Cooper, yeah.
Yeah. And look at this, 10,000 will be allocated for young people 18 to 35, and we will provide them with 100% financing to purchase these homes. All of you that will get 100% financing, the young people, and will get a brand new home and not pay nothing.
Dangerous.
Make you know. Make you know.
Mm.
Look at this.
Wow.
Him said the more issue over 30,000 land titles to Jamaicans who have legitimate claims to land. You know what that is? That is adverse possession too.
Mm-hmm.
That is adverse who have legitimate claims to land. Once you depend it 12 years, you have a legitimate claim. And look at this. Here's why. Here's why we know it's adverse possession in my talk about. Look at this. It says we will issue over 30,000 land titles to Jamaicans who have legitimate claims to land that they have occupied, cultivated, and used for gingeration. See it right there, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That is adverse possession. The Prime Minister said that. His party said that. And by the way, who's the Minister of Housing? Who really run the housing thing? It's the Prime Minister.
Yes.
The Prime Minister. People, you cannot make these things up. You cannot make these up. And I'm sure, I'm telling you right now, if I go and I pull up the 2025 manifesto, you're going to see the language inside there. And I pull up the 2016, you're going to see the language inside there. And here it is that the Prime Minister is telling people that if you squat on land for more than 12 years, we're going to make sure that you get title. He said it right here. Because here's why. Here's why. If you have title, you don't need the government to come and give you title. If you have title, you don't need the government to give you title. Here they're saying we're going to give title to people who have legitimate claims to land that they have occupied.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the word? Occupied.
Occupied. Mm-hmm.
And then when him done, him come and say, it's an illegal capture. But it's an illegal capture, but you are make it legal. So Lime, see, Lime, let me show you again, Lime. We just want to show you this, Lime, because we have a conversation and we just want you to be able to understand where I come from, and that also you will be able to explain to people when them talk to you about this. See it right there, say no. Sita, we will issue over 30,000 land titles to Jamaicans who have legitimate claims. That means if you have a legitimate claim, that means you don't have no title. You don't have no title. And it says to land that you have occupied. The first word, occupied, cultivated and used for generation. This is adverse possession.
But he's now saying he doesn't want to set a precedence, Rattigan.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I'm saying no one set no precedence.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go back and we have to listen to him when him said this.
Including supporting a process that would.
Listen to this nonsense.
It is not your birth that makes you Jamaican. It is the choices you make for your country.
No, Mr. Prime Minister, that's your question now. Talk to us about the choices you have made for Jamaica.
Right.
Talk to us about the choices you have made for Jamaica. No, oh, you know what? Let me ask him a question, sis. The skilled workers in the third country national program coming to Jamaica, they've made a choice, right? They're coming to Jamaica. They're not born in Jamaica. But you hear what him say? Being born in Jamaica doesn't make you Jamaican. It's a choice you make for Jamaica. So these skilled workers coming to Jamaica, are you saying now that these people are more Jamaican than
who were born there?
Oppose what you're saying and what you're doing? Because you're not making good choices for Jamaica because you're opposing you. Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister. You have to understand, Mr. Prime Minister, that around here, we're not this.
Oh my God. Dark and they're stupid. They are dunce. Oh my God. And they're stupid.
No,
oh my gosh.
not that. And then also we want to ask the Prime Minister when he said this, but the adverse position is going to give them title and now him said them illegal and blah blah. How about this?
Did the minister lie? Did the minister lie?
Jamaica not a real place.
Jamaica is not. You know, I got a call this week from somebody who was in the Prime Minister's circle. And the person said, Rattigan, Jamaica mash up, you know. I'm going to say, is that a question or is that a statement?
Mm-hmm.
A statement. Him say, me live here, me can't tell you Jamaica mash up. I mean, or somebody say he lied. Africa content said, Prime Minister lied. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So,
What's your statement about Jamaica mashup, you know, Rattigan? The government is operating with $28 billion less, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that means services have to be cut, infrastructural services, you know, the capital budget, all of those things, social services. So when you look at it now, you little wonder people are going to adversely possess lands.
Yeah.
Because how many persons, and as a matter of fact, many persons have lost their jobs. They said the banks are repossessing vehicles by the thousands. Many people are defaulting on rental and mortgages. So the economy is in a bad way. So when they say that Jamaica mashup, they're not telling a lie. But you know what is sad is that the leaders are lying to the people. They're not telling them exactly what is happening, though you see it in front of you. So they're saying, believe what I tell you and not your lived experience. And
Right.
those two things cannot be in the same sentence. You have to go by your lived experiences.
And see, Ronica put it in businesses are closing. There's a business,
Yeah.
but which one closed? There's a business that's been in Jamaica for decades, and they just
Mega Mart. In I think it's one in Portmore somewhere or Montego Bay. I forget which where.
there's a manufacturing. Oh, Sherwin-Williams, yeah.
Yes, Sherwin-Williams. Hey,
Sure.
that is huge in Rattigan.
Mm.
That is huge. So now you see how all of this ties back into adverse possession.
Mm-hmm.
It is born out of need, not want. Because people cannot sleep under the open canopy of heaven, even though persons are still sleeping under the open canopy of heaven, even after Melissa and Beryl and Melissa, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it is a conversation that must be had, but in a respectful way, because the issue it runs deep.
Let me just, you mentioned people sleep on a canopy. I don't know which one this is, but I need it to, let me see. Look at this, people. Look at this.
Yep.
No, look how silly this is.
Mm-hmm.
Mash up the houses.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you want to get rid of the people off of the land.
Mm-hmm.
But you right on the land where you just mash up.
That is the irony is dead on them. The irony is lost on them. The irony is, but here's the sad part though, Rattigan. You know, these are the tents from Melissa.
Yes.
And people, no, see, this is the cruelty of it. People are still sleeping on the tarpaulin and in their cars. Yet he said, had the government not been frugal and responsible, you know, we would not have been able to give out these tents. Prime Minister, you're not frugal and responsible, you're irresponsible and evil. Because while you have these tents, they're hoarding. Jamaicans are sleeping on the tarpaulin. So why didn't he give it to those persons and leave the people in with their structures on Cooper's Pen? So you see how you look at it and you say, well, to say he's evil, people say, no, the Prime Minister is not evil. He's being strategic. Strategic in what way? Because he could only make that statement if the persons who who suffered as a result of Melissa were all safe, in safe spaces. But they're not all in safe spaces. So to make that statement was reckless. And in my opinion, shows me that he really doesn't care about the Jamaican people. He cares about a certain portion of the population, and the other portion he doesn't give a shit about.
That is quite true. That is quite true. I mean, I wanna show. We talk about okay. Look at this. I want to show you something. When was Hurricane Beryl? 24, right?
24, yes.
2024.
I think July 2024, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere thereabout.
We're there and we are talking about the tent. And we are said the tent came from Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
And Melissa was October last year.
2025, yeah.
Right. And here it is, what, we're 10 months after. And him just bring out them tents and now and use them over at Cooper's Pen. Even though you have people in St. Elizabeth, Hanover, Westmoreland, St. James, Trelawney, who need a tent. And then have a tent.
Exactly.
Take a look at this. Look at this. We're talking about Melissa. How about Beryl? Look here. Hurricane Beryl bank balance as of October 20th. As of last year when Melissa hit. Look how much money they not spend. 101,000 and 138.7 million Jamaican dollars. I cut 102,000 US dollars. Them not spend the money. 2024, the money not spend. For burial, the money not spend. No, go ahead, sis.
But the money wasn't given for them to hoard it in Ratigan. The government is only a conduit, to the people. So a middleman, basically. So when the donations are made, they are not made to be hoarded in people's bank, in the bank accounts of persons or the government. They're not made to be for people to be siphoning off money through using different fee structures to take away the money. Because when you look at it, I was watching a breakdown of it the other day, and many people have been doing it now. The private sector, corporate Jamaica, made more money from the Melissa donations than the people who were affected by it,
Mm-hmm.
And so you look at it and you say, mighty God, the people are suffering on the premise, and he's going to tell you that, oh, we are responsible government. You cannot be responsible and have people suffering and the money is sitting there, and then talk about the food that they were able to store. It is spoiled. The people are talking about the food is no good. So, and we all know that these things are perishable. They have a shelf life. So why not give it to the persons in the moment when they are in need? What is he hoarding it for? And that is why persons say don't give to the government, because they have been dishonest to the people.
That is absolutely correct. You can't give them because, and I was told that the money, the burial money, that decision was a ministerial decision not to spend the rest of the money.
Wicked.
It was a ministerial decision. Said no, because I asked, but they were spending. Why did they stop? And they said it was a ministerial decision that they're not going to spend the rest of the money. They're going to hold on to that money. And I said, for what? And no answer. No, because they can do it. That was the answer. Because they can do it, they just said we're going to do it because we can do it. And the problem now, the problem they face now is. The problem they're going to face now is, God forbid, and I don't wish it, believe me, God forbid they should have another catastrophic event in Jamaica and let's try beg overseas. I think they're going to have some problems getting money from.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because people are going to start holding up these facts, because they are entitled to their own opinions, but not their own set of facts. And people are going to start using this information to say to international donors, you cannot give to the government of Jamaica for the people of Jamaica, because the people of Jamaica are not going to get it. Here is the evidence.
Right.
And they cannot dispute the evidence.
They cannot. No matter how hard they try, they cannot. I'm trying to find the money, how much money people like we talk about it on Saturday, but it's worth reminding people, you know, especially those who gave. They gave, and we know some of us, we don't have it to give, but we say we are going to try and help out our country.
Sacrificial.
Right.
Sacrificial donation.
We give it out, and then when we give it out, we'll come to find out that a lot of the money that we gave thinking went to Jamaica did not go to the needy Jamaicans. It went somewhere else. And
went to the greedy.
May I try to find the Lasco one, because that one is just
that's the most egregious one, Rattigan. Most egregious.
Yeah, that is just it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And we have you know what, let me find it, because people gave thinking that, okay, the money went, and it went to the right people for the right purpose. And then we come to find out that no. All right, here it is. All right, here it is. Quickly, people, we went through this before, but it's worth reminding people. Here it is. Here it is right here, gross donation. This right here is the total amount received on the website. And they received 72.4 million and 72.4 million Jamaican dollars and 1.4 US dollars. No, this is what Lasco did. And Lasco had an agreement with ODPEM. And ODPEM comes on that thing, the Office of the Prime Minister. But this
Prime Minister.
Yeah, this is what you see where it says commission fees charge. That is Lasco. All of you who paid using credit card, this is what Lasco did with the credit card when they processed it. Out of the 72.4 million, they took almost 3 million out of that for commission. And look out at the 1.4 million, they took 55.6 thousand US dollars.
God.
And then they took GCT out of it, 424,000 approximately, and in Jamaican dollars, and 8,346 US dollars. Then look at this, them hit you with now transaction charges, 182.3 thousand Jamaican dollars and 3,214 American dollars. So out of the 72 million, ODPEM received 52. And out of the 1.4, they receive 1.4 million, they receive 1,050,000. And I have the number here. Yeah. It turns out that Lasco collected 19.5 million Jamaican dollars, approximately, out of the money that you gave, using your credit card, money that you gave. Lasco had in their pocket 19.5 million. And get this, out of the 1.4 million US dollars, Lasco received 376,000 US dollars.
How wicked. And this is what is going to cause Jamaica not to get donations directly into government coffers. This right here. Because this was not the intent. This was not the intent of the donations. And people are still suffering as a result. And the Prime Minister sit there and talk about he's being frugal and responsible. No. And the thing is, ODPEM wasn't in his office before, He put ODPEM in his office and fired the professionals and hire somebody who had only a few days experience to run ODPEM.
Yes.
So
And
the
run,
persons with decades of experience were gotten rid of.
yeah, and
Not
run it
serious people.
like a hog pen. That's what him run it like.
It is a hog pen.
The man run it like a hog pen. No. And that website, with them did it, a dear friend of mine, we had a conversation today about all of this stuff about who own the website, who own. Oh, I almost forget. Friend, I watch. I almost forget. Remember them talk about this data protection?
Mm-hmm.
The question now is who owns the data? Because did you see where Spirit Airlines just
Is selling the data to
just
Google.
data to Google for millions of dollars.
10 million.
Yeah. Who, and remember, a lot of us, our data is on these sites run by Amazon. Remember COVID? Or they hacked into it and got people.
And everything was out there. Because it's not a secure website.
It's not. And
And that's why they had to go through Lasco, because he doesn't have the security badge. And remember, this is going back from COVID. And they use him in Beryl, and they still use him in Melissa. So why are they using him, given the history of failures that he has had? Why is it they have to use this company? Why hasn't the government by now set up their own system that you can donate to directly? Makes no sense.
Indeed. Look on this, my people. Look on this. When they started out with that website, and we went over this on Saturday, but this is just we are go over it a little bit. So, and because we understand that some people didn't join us on Saturday, but if you look at the top right here, let me make it bigger. When you were giving money to the website, when you were donating through the website, you see where it's up at the top? This is what you saw on the website. It says access is strictly limited to authorized personnel from two places: the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, and the Office of the Prime Minister. So they were saying, your information, don't worry about it. Only two groups of people will have access to it. You're safe. Don't worry about anything. This is what they put on the website. There it is right here. It says, we further noted that the privacy notice on the website states, it is right here, on the website states, and this is what it states, right here. This is what it states, right? ODPEM, Office of the Prime Minister. Now, look at this. We end up with 8 people, people, and this is not counting Amber. This is 8 people, or 8 groups of people who had access. Some of them called the super admin. Now, remember, Office of the Prime Minister, ODPEM. Now, walk with me, people. Is the Ministry of Education, Youth, Skills and Information, is that part of ODPEM? Is that part of the Office of the Prime Minister? No. How about Ministry of Labor and Social Security? Is that part of ODPEM or OPM? No. How about JAMPRO? No, JAMPRO is on the Ministry of Industry, I believe. I think it's on the Ministry of Industry.
Well, yeah, Industry and Commerce, yeah.
See it right here? Now we get to Office of the Prime Minister. Big. See them right there, so. See it right there, so. See them right there, see all of them right there, so. So then we have.
Well, look at the craziest one: Ministry of Culture, Gender and Entertainment and Sport.
And guess what? Out of the 8 people who shouldn't have access, Ministry of Culture, Gender and Sport had 3. The one that should have all the access, the Prime Minister's office, only 1 person. They only had 1. See, user number 5. It's only 1 person. So all of your information, your personally identifiable information, your date of birth, your address, your this, your that, information that you thought was going only in one place. Look how many people have had access to it. And we're not counting Amber yet. Amber not count yet, because we found out that Amber had access to your information.
God.
So when you start get some bills from credit cards that you didn't apply for, you might want to take a look over there. You might want to go back and say, did I give my credit card stuff? What does he put up here? OT. Oh yeah, look it there. See it right there, so. See it here, people. Amber. See OT are showing it right there, so. See it here. Site developed and donated by Amber, and then we found out that the donation was only for a year. Only for a year. Click donate now. All right. See when you go in there for the donate now, go up to OT, and you use your credit card. Look down at the bottom left. See right there? Last score.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you knew this?
Mighty God.
How many?
And the minister said the money would have gone directly to ODPM's account. That's what she said, you know.
Hold on there. Move that for me there, OT, please. Please move that. Please move that. Let me see if this is the one. Is this the one where that liar?
Good morning.
Because she look on my girl Zara. Watch her. Look on her, look at.
Yeah, because Zara is the only credible journalist there in Ratigan.
I know. Because she look on the Zara. Watch her.
Good morning.
Shame.
Not there. It look good kill.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make Zara
Right, she
ask
said
her
the
one
questions
question.
are for Minister Johnson Smith. You want to say it? I can hear it. I can repeat it.
Gotcha. With such
Okay, new
discipline.
mic is coming.
Gotcha.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello, yes.
Let me hear
Okay, Zara Burton, 18 degrees north. Many questions for Camilla Johnson
Yeah, can you
Smith
just read out the questions and then we'll try to take them together?
and also for you, Minister.
Okay, sure.
The set of questions also impact Minister Grange. So this first question has been regarding a text message that I received from just a friend of mine who used to be a journalist over in the Philippines. And he made a mention that, paraphrasing, is it that the government is misusing funds that were raised for Melissa, given that I'm hearing that a private entity was the one that owned the supportjamaica.gov site. Now, that has been in the news recently, just regarding Amber, and also regarding the information that went out to the diaspora, whether or not, why weren't the diaspora and other people who donated on that site locally told that this was a site not owned by the government of Jamaica? So that's one. Two.
Let me go and ask and I hear the answer. Here you know. You're the lady I tell pure lie now. Listen now.
Come up, let's get through these questions. I will give one note though on Support Jamaica. And I know yesterday the head of ODPEM would have been giving updates, but what I do know is that in the disaster risk management structure, there is a finance committee that must approve any spend coming from any money that has been donated. In addition to that, all of the funds that would have been received.
Lady, you need to stop tell lie. Because we went and we checked it out. And that committee you're talking about, them never even exist. Them never even exist. So when you talk about there's a committee that's overlooking the spending, no, the one where overlook the spending is the cabinet is overlooking the spending. That is the one that you must talk about, where you are a part of. You need to stop telling lie, man. Goodness gracious.
Must approve any spend coming from any money.
You're the big liar now. You're the big one. That one the big boy. You're the big one now.
That has been donated. In addition to that, all of the funds that would have been received through Support Jamaica, they go directly to ODPEM accounts.
Not true.
What a liar.
Not true.
What a
God.
liar. She forgets the last the dead. You know what? Let me move her. Move her. You're my boy.
Ratigan, they weren't counting on you to do it.
Questions from
Eh?
They weren't counting on anybody to read the fine print.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Because them think we done dark and stupid. That's what happened.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, hear this I want you know.
Last week in relation to the Support Jamaica website.
When things start kill him now, here.
Our accounts.
No, Chair, we're not being charged.
You're sure about that?
Based on the information that we have, we're not being charged.
Okay, all right. All right, I'm going to go just, members, I'm using the prompt provided by the Auditor General's Department, and I'll just go find.
I'm going to go back.
That is the arrangement, Chair. But
Okay.
if we look at the report as well, there was also some withholding of some amounts for chargebacks. That was
So that would
occurring.
be in a case, let me just, so we keep it simple. Somebody use a credit card, send $100, but then you find out that that credit card
the dispute.
there. So the chargeback would, or the holding of the, is it 16 or 18 million? 16.1 would represent cases like that.
Or the amounts that they would have presumed to cover in these cases.
Or the amounts what?
They would have calculated to cover the large amounts given what they were taking in. As we could understand, this was significantly more than versus what they would have been collecting on other platforms. Hence the amount that was held back for chargebacks and such like. We have subsequently had conversations around the modalities of that occurring, and cause for us to enter into very separate discussions regarding amounts and times for holdbacks. But as it is now, we're not engaging in a process of holding back.
All right, so just so I'm clear, because I'm not sure if I followed you carefully, how close are we to resolving the 16.1 million, which is in dispute?
Well, those monies are not in dispute, Chair. We do have those monies in our bank accounts.
Oh, they are in your bank accounts. Okay, so they're not being withheld then.
Not being withheld at the moment.
Okay. And based on, I would say, just rough math, probably 95% of the funds which came into ODPM, or 90, would have been through direct deposits to your account. Because if you have 1.4 billion and only 72 million J plus 1.4, maybe about 80, a little lower. The majority of the funds, vast majority, would have come through direct deposits, which makes more sense to ODPM, but for the donor, they would have to pay the fees on certainly sending, the wire transfer fees. Let me ask you, is ODPM charged a fee on the receipt of those funds through the wire transfers? Because in many cases, if somebody sends a wire to an individual, they both pay a sending fee and then the recipient also pays an equivalent fee. So are you being charged by the institution when those funds reach your accounts?
No, Chair, we're not being charged.
You're sure about that?
Based on the information that we have, we're not.
I want to get to the point which part him ask him. Bunting.
Okay, so that would not have attracted the 3.9%.
No, because it is going directly to
so the 3.9% is donations made by credit cards, I assume?
through the Support Jamaica website. All donations through the Support Jamaica website attract the 3.9% commission.
So that's like
Plus
a vendor discount on the credit card. I'm trying to understand what is the 3.9%. It's charged by the.
It's charged by the financial services institution.
By the banks, so to speak.
No, well, it's not a bank in this case.
See them, no want to talk about
It's a payment. It's like
It's a
Stripe
payment
or
portal.
one of those.
So ADPEM can explain the
push it over the panel.
agreement in terms of the partners, but the financial services institution would be responsible for processing the collections and then transferring the monies to ADPEM's bank account.
So
that's why I asked you the question.
Maryland is from the Auditor General's office. This man.
Yeah, outstanding.
Right.
Outstanding guy. But
Yes.
just to say, there's an intermediary right there, and Minister Dana Morris Dixon tell us, no, it went directly in there. And he must say, no, there's, with the credit card.
Here, maybe I should, 1 second, I should repeat. If somebody goes on the site, wants to give $100 with a credit card, but you said it goes straight to ODPEM's bank account, not to a third party.
Well, there would be a provision, and I'd have to just double check here, Chair.
You might lie. I mean, double check. You know.
They will hold whatever money is required and then send the rest of the money directly to us.
That's what I thought. That's why I asked you the question, because generally, whoever the provider is holds it, takes their fees, and then sends to you the net amount. That's why I asked you, well, can you tell us who the provider is then?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is the LASCO Financial Services institution. I don't want to call the name wrong, but it is provided through LASCO.
Which you don't want to call the name.
Okay, but I mean, this is
hold on, Mr. Chairman. The Auditor General typically does not name names in their report, but when the specifics are asked in this committee, the names are given. It's not a secret. You can't provide oversight if you are hiding stuff from us. So the chairman asked, who is the financial service provider or financial service institution that is referred to by the Auditor General in his report? Please answer the question.
So to repeat, Chairman, the LASCO Financial Services Limited.
Look, there's so much in that thing there. I'm telling you, sis, there's so much in that hearing. I mean, that's like maybe about a tenth of the stuff there's so much in there we can't get to it. But you know what happened? People were
for him to answer, it was like he was giving birth to a 15-pound baby.
And you know what? With the last another thing that they didn't tell you when you give your money, and even after, is that LASCO kept in addition
the money for some days.
The 376,000 that is theirs, and the 19.5 that is theirs. They kept 30% of money. It was a handshake, no agreement.
No agreement.
Keep the 30 for 45 days. Right? And thank God for our Auditor General. Because it wasn't she, dog Niam Wesopper. Because guess what? We found out that some of these funds were kept for over 120 days. When you have a financial institution where hold on money on that, you can just guess what's going on. You know, we have seen instances where people held on to money like this, and then them do short-term loans, them do short-term investments, them go play the stock market, and them they make a money on top of the money that them hold on.
Yeah.
Right. Look at this, people. If you don't believe me, look at this. See it right here. October, they held on to, they had 6.2 million, they have 46,000 US dollars. They were supposed to give the money back on this handshake deal. They were supposed to give it back December 16th. They gave it back March 9th, which is 83 days more than the 45 days. And look at this, people. March 9th, they gave back the transferred money. March 9th, they transferred money. March 9th, they transferred money. March 9th, they transferred money. You know why they transferred the money? Because of this. See it right there, so? The right, see it right here. On March 9th, LASCO confirmed that none of the withheld amounts were transferred to OPDEM's our US account, but look at this, indicated that the funds were in the process of being cleared for payment. Is the Auditor General went on March 9th and said, and right away, all money come back the same day. Bye, people.
Sad, man.
It's just
the
crazy.
country not running good. Let's say the Prime Minister. The country not running good.
And that's
you get the waste MC, you get the what you pay for.
You pay for. That's why them raise it. That's why them raise it. You know.
And they're still like getting value for money.
Yeah. The people do not forget the TCN, you know, the TCN still is on the table. Watch out for strangers just landing in Jamaica. And you hear says TCN, right? Minister Vaz with FEMA visa thing. We're not finish up FEMA visa thing. We'll get to that. We have the FSC that we actually raced through it to get to the Vaz story, and we raced through the Vaz story. We're going to get to them, you know. Believe me, we're going to get to them. And then we have this thing that's pending right now, the Cooper spend. And what are they going to do about it? Not to mention, sis, we have the beach issue. And here's one issue that affects all Jamaicans. Well, I shouldn't say it affects all Jamaicans, but it doesn't, this doesn't go by politics or where you live. The water issue.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
They have water restrictions now. And remember, them telling us, say, hey, we are the water people, right? We are the water people. We take care of water. And where are we now with water? What about our
Going to build a desalination plant, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean, man, we're bad pan that, man. We're bad pan promising. We're bad pan desalination.
People are crazy.
You know, we're bad pan. Let me just get to water, your people. We have to go now, but let me just get to the water things. All of you who you have problems with the liquor water now and things like that, no can't get water. And I mean, the thing that's puzzling is why don't we have more Jamaicans speaking out, coming out in the street and talking about this? We don't have it. And you wonder why. And I've heard that. Well, them beat down the people afraid. But
They can't kill everybody, Ratigan. They cannot kill everybody.
They can't kill everybody. And you know, Prime Minister Holness must remember this, you know. Must remember this. He will not be Prime Minister forever and ever.
Forever.
There will come a day that he will have to step aside.
Yep.
And you know, he wants to step aside and get the respect of the Jamaican people. He don't want to step aside when it's too late. And he must remember this, that at some point, he's going to outlive his usefulness to the United States. And it's fun because you know why? The ambassador who's going to be confirmed and is coming down there, she's coming with a mandate that China must come out of Jamaica. And how is the Prime Minister going to deal with that? How is he going to deal with that? I don't know. How is he going to deal with that? I don't know if he can deal with that. In fact, I'm willing to bet, to wager that he cannot deal with that. So I'm just scrolling through your people and I'm looking at all the promises that they've made over the years to all of us. You know, I'm looking here. Build and upgrade water shops. I don't know if anybody know about any water shops at Junction in St. Elizabeth and Commodore and Manchonil in Portland. And they're going to build water shops in Brampton, Balaclava, Pedro Plains, as well as Bull Bay West. Anybody hear about them water shops? Since we're talking about water, anybody hear about that? Let me know, you know.
Well, if they were up and running, the evidence would have been there. So clearly nothing is happening. But before you move on now, you mentioned the Cooper spend issue, but remember now, the government was bulldozing places in Albion, St. Thomas the other day now, prior to. So it is happening not only in private property, but in public spaces, government on crown lands. So it's a myriad of things happening. All the things are happening.
Minerva said desalination is being built for years. All right. Check out this, Minerva. Minerva, check out this. See,
Minerva is being naughty.
See the development of desalination plants, you know. And I wish part of there. Brackish Ferry Springs at Moses Lake. I don't know where that place is. See it right here. Anybody who's been there, I don't want you to tell me if you know about it. Just tell me if you've been to Moses Lake. Help me out. See it right there, sir. See it there, Moses Lake. See it there. There's a desalination plant out there, you know. And they said that they're going to build desalination plant, coastal cities. They're going to develop them. See it right here, coastal cities. See it right there, so. And then they said that they're going to upgrade and expand the one that they have at Moses Lake. So tell me now, how is it that Minister Samuda just said that they're going to do a study on desalination plants in Jamaica, when I'm already telling at 2020 that they're going to build along the coastline and that they already have one. So how that go? And see, people, we need to hold them accountable to these things. We need to, we can't make them come every 4 or 5 years and say, this is what we've done, because the last manifesto, you know, them put out a section where them claim to them do hundreds of things. But ask yourself the question, the hundreds of things where them claim them do, how have those things benefited you and help with your life? How? Oh, see it, water prohibition orders in effect today, August 17.
Yeah.
That's 2 years ago.
That was Monday.
Somebody should be asking what happened to the desalination plants. You promised us desalination plants in 2020. Where are they? Well,
I say I promise you that comfort to a fool.
Yeah, Barry, you're right. And that's the sad part. People just sit back and just take it.
But you know why? You know why Ratigan? The media in Jamaica has lost its way because they have the power to keep these things in the spotlight, to pressure the government and to bring pressure to bear. Because if you look in the American space, the media is doing an exceptional job of bringing things out and unearthing things, whether or not people, a guy like it or not, they don't care. They're doing their jobs despite harsh situations coming against them.
True.
And what I've noticed is that the media in Jamaica, one person is making a mockery of the condition, the situation facing Cooper's Pen residents. You know, so and what they do is they go for the shiny object, the sensational things, and talk about it and make a story out of nonsense. And the real issues that are affecting people on a daily basis, it's like, oh, they make mention of it, but it's just a mere mention. And then they move on. And then you have the churches. You have the private sector organization. The private sector organization as an entity, you know, can really put the screws in this government, you know. Because, and they're the ones who are being affected. But then again, if they don't have to invest and they can just give, you know, because when the government does their mopping up exercise, they get what, 5% per annum on their monies that the government take the US dollars from them. So they don't really have to build out anything. And that's easy money. So there's no pressure on them to work in the interest of and on the behalf of the Jamaican people, because they can sit down and make the money one way or the other. So the persons and the entities that can really put the pressure on the government, they have fallen, they have been derelict in their duty, and it is left up to social media to do the heavy lifting. And when social media does the heavy lifting, you're labeled enemy of the state and you're damaging brand Jamaica, when the people that are damaging brand Jamaica is the government.
Exactly right. See, Ubuntu say, he used to sing a spring. Me know spring Ubuntu. Forget say you come from around my place at all. Over foot at doing the park. And there's a Moses Lake there, I guess. So reggae medic say Moses Lake there in Egypt. And Barry Clark, you're right. If you Google Moses Lake, you come up in Washington State. Yeah, you're right. You know, speaking of going back to Cooper's Pen, I want to share something with all of you. Remember, we were talking about the bailiff that the police can't participate in eviction action. They can't move your stuff. That has to be done by the bailiff. They can be present if there's a probability that there will be chaos, confusion, violence. Yes, they can be there, but they can't help with moving stuff. Now, here's the thing: Section 249 of the Jamaican Judicature Act says that a bailiff, listen to me carefully, people, a bailiff carrying out a warrant of possession can enter the property to remove the occupants and give possession to the rightful party. However, the bailiff or bailiffs, they can only enter between 8 a.m. 4 p.m. You understand what I'm going on? In the Cooper Spen saga, we understand that they went to the property somewhere around 2 to 3 a.m. Hours before the permitted time for entry. So that's why we said, people, we need to know, we need to start out. We can't, some people start out with a history, and that's fine. Not criticizing anyone. I'm saying that personally, I want to start where it started or where it ended. And who is responsible for this? The Prime Minister said, "Me don't know." And what else did he say? "I'm going to ask and find out." And how long has it been?
You mean like when Rattigan. This is the same Prime Minister who, when asked about persons being investigated by the Integrity Commission, what did he say? He looked far and wide, and the answer was no.
Right.
But he didn't look at the man in the mirror because he was under investigation. Anything this man saying, I would take it with a pound of salt because nothing goes like that. The man just, I don't know what he gets from being so for telling lies, but it is getting overbearing now. It cannot continue. And he does it, and everybody below him is doing the same thing.
Kokichi Starker said each constituency in Jamaica was promised 500 black water tanks. Is there any evidence of this, that this happened? No, Kokichi.
What should I talk about?
I don't have any evidence that all of this took place. I know that they were giving out black water tanks, but as far as giving it to every constituency, I don't think that happened. I don't think that happened.
Rattigan, that program ended the day the election was finished. Okay. They're not serious.
Land is not equitably distributed. You're right.
No.
And when we're doing a study right now, what we're going to do is kind of sandwich the whole thing. We're going to start from who's responsible to how did this start, and then we're going to just compress the whole thing and bring it in a format that people are going to clearly understand what took place there. Clearly understand. But in the fullness of time, like I said, people, please tune in on Saturday because Bert Samuels, noted and distinguished Jamaican attorney, will be our guest this Saturday. And he's going to specifically address some of the issues that we raised today, ownership. We're going to talk about the laws and some other things he's gonna discuss regarding this. And it's going to be a very fruitful segment because, sometimes I'm sure you don't want to hear from me. You want to hear from people who are actual practitioners in Jamaica. I'm very familiar. What I do is I just have a knack for doing this. I just love doing this. And so I'll read, and I've surrounded myself with a group of people that they do a lot of research and they'll push things to me. But when you talk to somebody like Bert Samuels now, he's been doing this for quite a while. So it's almost like gospel when you hear him come and him talk. So I want you to tune into that. We have about 11 minutes left. Sis, anything else you want to talk about before we shoot off? I'm going to try to see if I find.
I'm thinking about the children in Cooper's Pen and in Albion. and the level of trauma that they are suffering as a result of seeing the demolition happening around them. And I'm also thinking about that mother with the 3 days old baby. What trauma is she experiencing? And have they provided grief counselors to deal with the post-traumatic stress that will come as a result? Because just imagine as a child, you wake up one day and the images are still fresh because they're on the internet. The internet is forever. These are Mark Golding and Andrew on this internet. They are forever. So whatever they say, it's there. Right. And when you look at the children, Bratigan, just milling around, you know, no, last night they had a roof. And then this morning, and this boy, you know, his toy was right there, you know, and then the baby in the bath pan, in the bush shed. No, man. When did Jamaica become this diabolical? And when did the leaders become so depraved? Because you have to be depraved to administer such things at Matigan. Have to be depraved. Something, one has to be dead inside to allow that to happen. And one lady was saying, you know, they took their things out of the house. Like, okay, you bulldozed the house, you took up my things. And she said what the guy on the tractor did. He backed up the tractor and run it over the baby crib and run it over them bed. So even if they could take the things and go someplace else, they destroyed everything. So when the Prime Minister get up and say he doesn't know, he needs to stop it. He really needs to stop it because people are hurting. People are hurting. And if you keep pushing people, when they push back, and, you know, we all say, you know, people should stand up and let their voices be heard, protest, do so peacefully, get all their permits and things. But they are pushing them to a point where they're going to do more than protest. Because when people get angry and push back, it's not going to be nice. And you can't blame them because they are being pushed too far. And so the trauma that these children are experiencing is something that really concerns me. And who is helping them? The healthcare system is broken because the minister is preoccupied with his personal bedroom story.
But you know what? I think he's traumatized too, you know. The minister of health. I think he's traumatized because you notice now instead of paying attention to the development of the hospitals and the clinics and all of that and medical professionals, he's now, as I said, he's now curious about people's sexual preferences and.
Is it curiosity or is it projection?
I think he's because I think he's traumatized. I think Zara Burton traumatized him. I think he traumatized him.
What Ratigan?
From that question. I don't think he recovered from that question then.
Yeah, but when you start to think about it, you know, look at administrations before Andrew Holness. Can't recall any minister of health in the public square asking about oral sex and masturbation and jacket and all. Don't know, because the job requires more. The man needs to elevate himself. The man is down in the dumpster and the gutter talking about masturbation.
You know something?
Come on, man.
You know this, right? In the Market Me investigation, he's quoted as saying that he's an expert at marketing. And we know that he got a PhD in marketing. Now think about it. Is this marketing? Is
not, well, he's not doing a very good job of it, my friend.
If this is marketing, a buy him degree. A buy him
100%, 100%, because he's not doing a very good job of it.
Suffering. Oh, you can have people on their deathbeds. Well, no, death chairs, because I'm still in my chair and them not getting any help. And remember, there's a video of a man from another Caribbean island who went there, I think, with some heart problem. Yeah. And after the man, they put him on a chair. I couldn't wait. Yeah. He said, I prefer leave. No, yeah. How could you have that? How could you have the medical portfolio in such a state that you find the time to go to Crossroad and go to Orchard, all the place, people fool questions. Instead of going inside of the hospital, going to the hospitals and make sure that work is being done and we can get health care. You ask people fool questions about rules and ask people about this and ask people about that. And you say, and this is marketing. This is marketing. Because this has nothing to do with healthcare as far as me concerned. This now immediate healthcare. This now have nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do. It was just crass, Ratigan. It was crass, and he's treating the people how he sees them, how the government sees them, as not being able to reason things out to rational conclusions. Because there's no way that he could go before people and say that, and then I run him away and someone move from here with that. He's well within his right to masturbate in his own private home. Nobody cares. But coming out to ask that of people tells you where his mind is, Ratigan.
And you know what? This tells us what state the government is in, because when you have a
100%.
When you have a marketing doctor come and in charge of the medical portfolio.
Yeah.
This is what you get. And then when you have a medical doctor who in charge of national security,
national security.
That speech impediment, and some people say drink him a drink and him slurring words. And then look at his assistant, Minister Juliet Cuthbert Flynn. She is like a child. When people have visit you and like a picnic the way you want.
Child.
You don't want nobody say. You hide them, you send them go up bush, or you send them go somewhere else, you don't want nobody. That is who she is. If you notice people, and I don't mean to, and I'm not being disrespectful, I'm just being truthful. Look and tell me how many international conferences she has attended on Jamaica's behalf, on behalf of her portfolio, and presented. Tell me how many. Them take an athlete.
Audrey Marks.
Audrey Marks. Goodness
Audrey Marks.
Goodness.
Did that. Remember, the security conference that Audrey Marks went to. Why did Juliet Cuthbert not go there?
Yes. Well, let's say Audrey Marks was in America. She was in America. So, and remember now, what she was trying to do was she was trying to get some cooperation. She was trying to, not cooperation, she was trying to get some cooperation. Yeah. She sound like my boy, no Nick, name man, brother, the DJ from Waterhouse, where do Susie Wang. Him say, I'm talking on the phone, I want some cooperation, not some cooperation. Some cooperation. Demos from Firehouse. So, people, we're in bad shape. One of the things we want to tackle when we come back Saturday is, okay, we know what the situation is. What I need some ideas from people. What can we do to get the attention of the government so that them can start taking care of the people? And I know some people say, well, it's long past that time. No, it's never too late for a shower or rain. What can we do? Because we know what the issues are now. What can we do to get the government now to start paying attention? Because the government, believe me, people, despite what they may think, they will not be in power forever. They cannot be in power forever. It may be long, but it won't be forever.
But there one minister down, What has happened to Desmond McKenzie?
Yeah.
Isn't he out of commission? There one minister down.
Yeah, them throw the thing in my eye and I don't know what happened. It caused some kind of reaction. But the man are the only one, because you have some of them inside here, And I don't wish they're very sick.
Chuck. Yeah.
Them inside they're sick. And this is what them just hold on to power. Hold on to power.
Is it that they hold on to power for the sake of holding on to power, but it's the greed that is that entice, the greed, because with the power comes the wealth.
It's true.
So if the power didn't have the wealth attached to it, then they're gone long time. Because do you realize the majority of them are career politicians, Ratigan? They do not have they did not come in there with a say they work. Okay, then using Mark Golding as an example. He was a corporate lawyer, businessman before he got into politics. Others were teachers and stuff. There was a time when a lot of the politicians were teachers and practicing lawyers and coming to politics. Now, they have the degree, the political degree, or their whatever degrees accreditation they have, But politics is the only job that they know. Andrew Willis is a professional politician.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He has not held a job where you can say, oh, well, he worked in this field 10, 15 years prior to becoming a politician. No, that's the only job he has known.
And let me just say this regarding him, that based on the evidence I've seen, not one of his statutory declarations should have been certified. Not one. We know none have been certified for the last several years. But going back to when he entered politics from 1999 or somewhere around the
1998.
Yeah, none of them should be certified. This man never have a pot to piss in, and then all of a sudden he's now a multi-millionaire.
But Rattigan,
millionaire off a government salary. How?
But Rattigan, do you realize that now they have made a correction to say that his statutory declarations have been skewed going back to 1998? So
Yes.
it raises more questions than answers. So they were certified, but it's the digging and people say, oh, they paid for external forensic analysis and they didn't get the report. They got the report. That is how we know
They got the
these
report.
things. They got the report.
Yeah.
That is how we know these things. And so when he took the ICC to court and then he wanted those 12 things to be struck out, it revealed his underbelly. And then and everything is now coming out and realize, oh boy, since the man set foot in Parliament, he has not been straightforward. That's what it has proven.
I forgot them say blood thick and water. I forgot further than his father's interview. When his father said, "Chow, that taxi thing there, chow, foolishness, that man." Man said, no, believe none of them nonsense about taxi and foolishness.
He'll be the first taxi man to use 2 taxis to become a multi-billionaire. I'm sorry.
I wish everybody
in the Jamaican space.
I wish everybody could do that. Let me just big up all of the people from UK, big up all the people from Jamaica, Canada, elsewhere. All of you watching us, want to thank you for joining us. And Trish Newman said she'd really like to see one of the ex-colleagues. I'll ask them, Trish, and see if they want to come on, because some of them, they're keeping up with the news in Jamaica, and they reach out to me quite often to ask me what's going on in Jamaica. And you don't want to hear what I tell them, Trish. You don't want to hear. So I'll ask them and see if they're willing to come on and talk. So, sis, the last word is yours.
No. The last word is we have to keep the faith. And we cannot allow this to consume us. We have to find good company to break bread with, share a laugh with, because this is overwhelming. And if you can help somebody as you go along, then your living will not be fair.
Indeed. And folks, that's
and
the last
everybody in the chat, have blessed good night.
Yeah, and we're asking you, join us on Saturday from 3 p.m. New York time. That's 2 p.m. Jamaica time until 8. And after that, Kevin, he has his musical extravaganza program from 8 to 10. And then I return at 10 and go till midnight. And Dr. Love comes after me from midnight to 2. If you forget everything that I've said, remember this. Tune in Saturday at 3 o'clock New York time, 2 o'clock Jamaica time. You're going to learn a hell of a lot. As usual, we have a ton of stuff to talk about. So tune in. Sis, thank you so much for joining us.
Blessings, man.
All right. Take care of yourself. OT!
All right. You too.
I saw him stay. Well, fight for the people every day. Risk him life for the people every day. Get criticized for the people every day. Defending your rights. I saw him stay. How long them a gonna know so that them fire can't cool? How long them a gonna take our people for fool? Nah, build no houses, them nah build no school. Think them up there.
10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food pan we plate. People are suffer while Andrew a live great. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane pain come true. I left the people here. 6 months later, them still out there, asleep under the air. Your JLP friends them build high rise, road still full of hope. A whose pocket you a fill, while the nation lose its soul. Hospital overflow, picnic can't get bed. School roof a leak, but you and Juliet well fed. You always have excuse, always pass the blame. Every time something wrong, it never go in your name. Jamaica a drown and you claim you're unclean. Biggest actor in a politics we ever see. Wholeness, time to go, time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more. You know you're us. We are not on the door. Wholeness, time to go, time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Wholeness, time to go. Farmer can't afford to plant food, price reach the sky. You're bringing the poor to you while your own people cry. We born you, we grow you, we bleed for this land. But Andrew at the top won't extend the man. You talk about vision, you talk about plan. But 10 years later we still can't understand. Corruption report land and nobody charge. The people pocket small but the scandal them large. Who's crack up parish council bro? Country suffocate down and it just more. And when we raise the voice so call we political. But the truth is the truth and the truth is biblical. Time to go, the people. We say no. 10 years and we can't take no more. You know hear us. We are not on the door. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Wholeness our time to go. We no want no hype, we no want no speech. We want action, no, not the lies you preach. Hurricane victims still under tarpaulin. Prime Minister fly gone foreign. Your JLP cabinet full, but the people cupboard empty. Oh, you live so large when we live in so scanty. Not with fists, not with fire, but we voice them rising higher and higher. From every parish, every yard, every gate, Jamaica speaking and I know too late. Time to go, the people. We say no. 10 years and we can't take no more. You know hear us. We are not on the door. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Wholeness our time to go. This one is for every Jamaican. What can't afford feet. We are sleep on cardboard. We are drive on broken road.